right, while Maureen's checking on that, we're going to talk about the Last Supper. The Last Supper, today is Holy Thursday. This article is so powerful.
Is it the phone?
I hope no one's stuck on there. All right, we're going to continue. This is a very powerful article because it's talking about how everything in the Old Testament, the Old Covenant, talked about bread and wine. The Old Covenant, Melchizedek, the king of Salem, brought out bread and wine. He was a priest of God Most High. It talks about the manna from heaven. It talks about the Passover, the cup of wine. Everything in the Old Testament, the Old Covenant, bread, wine. And then we get to the New Covenant when Jesus comes and he says, I am the bread of life. He who comes to me shall not hunger. He who believes in me shall never thirst. He is the living bread. I think we're okay, everyone. I really do. And if we do perish, we'll be together. So there's nothing, no. I'm only kidding. There's nothing going on. It was the elevator. It was the elevator. Okay. The Last Supper. No. All right. We'll get right back on track. Okay. We're talking about the Last Supper and the food which endures to eternal life. And this is very, thank you. We had to get an electrician involved, but it worked out. Beautiful. All right, Jesus was the completion of the Passover begun in Egypt over 1,000 years earlier. The new covenant, Jesus is the bread, his body, the blood, his wine. And this is what makes us a Catholic. It is not grape juice or wine, it is his blood. It's not crackers or bread, it is his body. We are I believe, the only Christian faith. I'm not sure if there's others. I'm not sure. I think we're one of the few who believe in the transformation of the body, of the bread and wine into his body and blood. It is not a symbol. And I think that if we think about the Last Supper, what Jesus gave us, what we do in Mass, every time we go to Mass, he gave us the instructions, and we're not crucifying Christ every time we go to Mass. We're continuing in the Last Supper. We're part of that celebration, if you will. That's why they call the Mass a celebration. We're continuing in it. We're renewing our communion with him and be marked for eternal life. Jesus has allowed us to escape the angel of death, just like in the Passover when they marked their door with the blood of the lamb, the angel of death went past that door. Well, with the new covenant with Jesus, his body, his blood has marked us for eternal life. And when you really look at the Last Supper that way, it really can change how we look at today. It changes how we even look at being a Catholic. And after I graduated from college, I dabbled in a few churches. I said, I'm going to go to this one or that one and see what it's all about. I grew up cradle Catholic. I went to several other churches, not just for one time. I mean, one church I went to for maybe a year. And what brought me back to the Catholic Church was I truly believe that we have taken what was at the Last Supper and we've done what Jesus wanted us to do. Get together as a group of Christians, continue with the Last Supper, continue with what he wants us to do. And I'm going to have you stop there, but I'm going to see if anyone has anything